Today, myself and a group of business owners visited a factory called Seating Matters. The factory is based just north of Belfast. The company designs and manufactures seating for hospitals, care homes, etc. And over the past 10 years, it has built its business around the principles of lean manufacturing. Seating Matters has created a culture in its team of continual improvement. It's achieved the seemingly impossible of getting the whole team to buy into the philosophy. Becoming a lean workplace, certainly not something that happens overnight. As you can see, everything is labelled, colour-coded, everything has its place. There's nothing superfluous. The day starts at Seating Matters with a morning meeting every morning for half an hour. Japanese style in that it starts with a series of stretches and exercises. Everybody takes part. Every day the meeting is hosted by a different member of staff. They go through the alphabet so that your turn eventually comes round, and every single person takes a turn at hosting the morning meeting. Then 3 or 4 people are asked to share what they're grateful for, and then the person who's hosting the meeting tells the rest of the team a little bit about themselves. I guess with a team this size, so there's 60 staff members working over various departments. This is just a nice way for everybody to get to know each other a little bit better. The daily target is shared with the whole team. So today, 17 chairs needed to be made, and factory duties were also shared across the whole team so that everybody knows what everybody else will be doing. And favourite improvements from previous day or the previous week are shared. In this case, it was a recorded video that somebody shared about a sign that she'd made that was going to help her to have less interruptions. Her office is at the top of the stairs, and she was finding that people were coming all of the way up the stairs to find that she was on a call. So she's implemented a very simple improvement of putting a on-call sign in her window so that people can see it from the bottom of the stairs. It saves them the time having to come all the way up to the top of the stairs, and the sign can also be seen from the doorway into the office as well. Team members share their favourite improvements or their improvements that they've made in a dedicated WhatsApp group, usually with a before and after video and an explanation of what they've done to improve.
My mother is an occupational therapist, and she's seen the need for this type of clinical seating in the marketplace. And the first 7 or 8 years of business life was really stressful for me personally. Orders were going out late, and our entire facility was really disorganised. It was a really chaotic environment. I went home one night and I got my iPad and I started to type in really generic terms into YouTube, and I came across this thing called lean manufacturing. I came in the next day at your company and I gathered 2 or 3 people around and I said, I found this thing called lean and it's going to change our business. And it did. We started there and then making small incremental improvements to physically organise our factory, create more order, to tidy the place up. Basically, that's how it started. And that's where Lean Made Simple came from. We simplified these really complicated, theoretical lean concepts into simple things that people could follow. And what we've built today is an organisation and a culture where every single person is empowered to make small improvements to make their job and their lives easier.
The dedicated WhatsApp group is where team members share their before and after videos of the improvements that they've made in the areas that they're working on.
Because a lot of what we do is hidden away in a computer, and we don't have motion, we don't have the likes of inventory and stuff or inventory.
Team members are asked to contribute one improvement every 2 weeks. That's actually a really low number of improvements to ask team members to come up with, and the reality is that across the whole team they're coming up with many more improvements. So many, in fact, that they actually employ a full-time improvement manager. Now, going down onto the factory floor, or at least one part of the factory, you can see how well organised everything is from above. Everything, again, colour-coded, everything labelled, and everything's very visual, so it's not just the name of what's in the box, there's also a photograph of the item as well, so that mistakes can't be made when putting things away. Now these bins here contain basically nuts and bolts and small parts, and they operate a Kanban system for stock management. They operate on a just-in-time system, so they don't overorder. They've got 2 bins with identical components in. When the bin at the front is empty, it gets put to the back and the full one brought forward. This is the improvements manager, his station, so you can see all of the improvements and the progress. There's a tracker on the wall there, improvements that the team has suggested, and it's this guy's job to make sure that they all get carried out. That station there is for making improvements, so any member of the team can come, print out labels, laminate, and so on. Now moving through into a different area of the factory. It's a pristine forklift truck there. You can see everything's marked out on the floor as well, so that nothing gets put back in the wrong place. Standard operating procedures, or SOPs, are not hidden away in a folder or on a computer, although they will also live on a computer. But there are SOPs all over the factory, right next to where you would need to actually find them. So moving through into the woodworking department, I was really impressed. There just didn't seem to be a speck of sawdust anywhere. Everything was absolutely pristine. Everybody is responsible for their own areas. This guy was showing us how they had actually invested in a machine that was saving both a kind of repetitive strain injury, if you like, and saving a lot of time. It was also making a better job of making the holes in this piece of wood. Not sure what part of the chair this is, but yeah, just another improvement being made. We noticed that every piece of equipment, in fact practically everything in the factory apart from the humans, is on casters, so it's all movable, which means that if they need to make changes in the factory, they can be done really easily. But even though the items are on casters, they still have their own marked out places on the floor. Some more standard operating procedures here. You don't need to go away and look for the folder. And here is the sewing department. So these ladies sit at their machines, very economical use of space. Rolls of fabric are kept behind clear plastic, keep everything really clean. Lighting in the factory is really good. We've got the standing mats that we use at Crafty Kit Company as well. And just a few photos to finish off. Everything labelled. Everybody knows where to restock, whether it's blue paper, toilet rolls, etc. Instructions, colour coding. All the cupboards are labelled. So 15 minutes of improvement time in the morning, every single morning. Improvement cards. And again, colour coding, traffic light system for work in progress, the Kanban, markings on the floor. Once again, everything is clearly labelled. And yeah, it was just such an inspiring trip. So many tips, and really the culture that they've created at Seating Matters is incredible, and as I say, the buy-in from the whole team was very, very impressive. Last but not least, the cleanest toilets in the world. Everything's kept very, very clean, so the rolls of fabric are behind plastic screens. Everything's very well lit as well. And a few photos to finish off. Everything, as I say, labelled. Instructions. Everything colour coded. That's your 15 minutes of improvement time in the morning. And the improvement cards that the team fills in. Red and green traffic light system for workflow. Everything has its own place on the factory floor. Everything on casters. So yeah, it was just such an inspiring morning, such a great experience really to see how over the course of 10 years they have developed this lean way of working and how it's embedded itself really in the culture of the whole team. Took away a lot of inspiration, things that we can bring into our own business.